Well, we're starting.
Oh boy, get hype.
Man,
So,
yeah, this uncle is pretty poor this seed.
yeah, both runners giving us a map check here. So we got green pendant in Tower of Hera, red pendant in Desert Palace, and just a regular old crystal over in Eastern Palace. Well, it was a cane, but it wasn't the right color there. So we got the Cane of Burna here.
A nice small magic field dropped by the guard, so they'll have more use out of like blue cane.
It's one of those items that can be tricky once you get deeper into the escape sequence where you might run low on magic.
Yeah,
Alrighty, so as our runners are making their way through the escape sequence, just a quick shout out to our tracker who was already mentioned in Leyra's name file selection there, Merc249, clicking those buttons behind the scenes for us. Thank you very much.
yeah. Speaking of King of Burna, just like Fire Rod, each use guarantees use 1/8 of your magic, but unlike Fire Rod, does not one-shot the enemy. Ooh, a bomb drop from the blue guard.
That is one thing that you're always looking for in the first part of the escape sequence is a bomb drop, so you can get those couple of chests hanging out in the back in the sewer section. So it looks like both of our runners have enough magic to probably get through the rest of this sequence without too much difficulty.
The only enemy they still need to kill with King is the Key Rat. They can use pots to defeat the ball and chain guard here.
Oh, how about that? Moon Pearl here in Zelda's chest. So that is the first step towards Dark World access, and one of the more important pieces of that puzzle for sure. So we're going to be looking for hammer, glove, or two gloves possibly here. So at least the first piece of the puzzle is kind of filled in at this point.
Yep.
So Hugh Bliss has still not found that bomb drop, unfortunately. Leyra is the only one with a bomb at this point.
Yep, that boundary is from a blue guard. I'm not sure if they share a drop pool with the green guards.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. But yeah, it's surprising that that Hugh hasn't gotten lucky and found one as well. In this back section, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to farm, given that we are dealing with the Cane of Burna here.
Yep, they looks like have barely enough magic for the key red, so I doubt they are risking it farming for bombs.
Ooh, Leyra taking a little bit of extra time to grab a little pot of magic there.
Well, better safe than sorry.
True, true.
Well, how convenient. He's got a bomb drop and from another mouse right next to the bomb key mouse.
Alrighty, so we're seeing a 610 escape sequence here, 610, 615 for Leyra, somewhere around there. That's not bad for Kane of Burna. It's pretty decent, because that usually kind of slows your run down a little bit. We find the flippers here in the Sanctuary chest.
And the swords from the back of escape, so those are nothing to be worried about.
So we got a little bit of divergence early on here. We've got imhughbliss heading up towards the Lumberjack Cave. Get a little piece of info whether or not this is going to be an aggro required seed or not. Leyra is choosing to skip on this check for now.
They are probably going to come back later after the boots.
I've definitely seen a lot of runners go that route for it.
So that's a hard container on Lumberjack, so I don't think Ega will be required on that front.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough to draw our runners up for an aggro play. Meanwhile, in the forest there, Leyra picked up 300 rupees hanging out just in the mushroom spot, so should be good for Kakariko here.
With no bombs or one bomb in their possession, we are likely to see a south to north route in Kakariko. And if we got Dark World assets here in Kakariko, they might just enter Dark World from here.
That's always an interesting play to see if a runner does choose to go right into the Dark World if they get access here at Kakariko. So far, not seeing any of the pieces that we're looking for, though. Oh, well, actually, that's one piece we're looking for right there. Hugh finding the hammer in Tavern. We picked up a bottle in, was it in Blind's hut?
Yep.
Sick kid, unfortunately not having anything today. Alrighty, we find the Cane of Samaria in the chicken hut here.
Not doing a lot, but it's an item nice to have early on because it can be in a lot of places.
Yeah, and I mean, most likely it is going to be required at some point in this seed. So, having it now versus, having to search for it later is always a nice thing. Alrighty, so the one find in the the well there was the ether medallion. So if we need to go into Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, that could come in handy.
And that also says we are not finding Dark assets here in character just yet. Might be in the racing game, who knows? Also, the ether medallion makes for a decent magical weapon early on.
But that's true. Yeah, there's not much else going on. So yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, it kills Delphos, it kills Gyptos, that's probably all the most annoying enemies in the game. The rest, it frees them for easy slashes.
Alrighty, so now we've seen everything that Kakariko has to offer. We'll check out the race game and then see what's in the library before our runners make a decision as to where they're going to go next. So Leyra showing us that there is a sword upgrade hanging out there in the library that might be important if we don't find another sword anywhere else in the game.
Mm-hmm. Or we can just never get it because desert is not required, so boots might not even be required.
That is true. Alrighty, so we got Leyra doing South Shore and Hublis hanging out right behind him there.
Runners is likely to find their Zora font somewhere along the way, so nice routing.
Yeah, I think we'll likely see South Shore turn into the Zora checks as well because, I mean, Hugh's already got the cash in hand and Leyra's only 15 rupees away.
Yeah, with above 2,000 big 20s in the game, he'll find one somewhere here for sure, right?
He's got to, yeah. Alrighty, Leyra finishing off the Moldorms here in the mini Moldorm cave. There's a sword upgrade already, so I'm not gonna necessarily need that third one hanging out on the library bookshelf.
Yep, and 2 big 20s round out the 500 rupees he needs for King Zora. Let's see if he goes directly there or he goes to Ice Rock Cave first.
Ooh, there's our lift upgrade hanging out on the Hylia Island.
Which means we'll find a mirror and a glove before that one.
Yes. How about like right next to that location, pretty much, the hobo holding onto the other glove.
Yep.
Yes. So now when Leyra goes back, that glove that he just saw, it was very clearly the power glove, will have now transformed to the Titan's Mitt. Or we're not going to see it, unfortunately, but...
The magic of Pyro.
Ooh, interesting. So Hublis finding the silver arrows in the Ice Rod Cave, and Leyra, at least for now, is skipping that location.
You come into the hobo from the other direction, likely going up to Zora's domain after that as well.
Oh, we see the Quake medallion hanging out on the Zora ledge there, so probably going to pick that up. That could be a required medallion, so worth snagging for sure.
Yep.
Spend 500, get 300. I guess there could be some kind of worse deal, but that seems pretty bad still.
Yeah, that's
I guess for Zora, that's not bad. Usually he really he throws out chump change at you, so.
yeah. We can just write this off as a failed investment.
Mm-hmm. So we've got our Dark World access now, and Leyra is wasting no time at all. Gonna head in here, looking at Hype Cave, and we'll get a map check. We see Blue Pendant at Thieves Town, and our 5/6 crystals are Swamp Palace and Skull Woods.
Okay, let's see how the cave we are forced to score every time we visit turns out today.
I don't know. That really wasn't too hype.
Well, it's a B minus, I'd say.
Nice. So looks like Lara is going to give us Pyramid Ledge and possibly head up to Catfish after this, just kind of knock out these two locations, seeing he's in the area at this time.
Yep, there's two routes after Hype Cave. One continue with the South Dark Road to the Old Stumpy and Diggy Game. The other is the North route here on Pyramid and Catfish. Both are quite a long walk for two locations, but you have to take this all the way sometime.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of these spots you're going to have to run across at some point during your run, so might as well just bite the bullet and go for one and then hope it pays off. So I see in chat there, we've got some pedestal talk already. I'm not really one for ped hype. If it happens, it happens. But the possibility of Mirror being on the pedestal is pretty hype. Ooh, the bow from Stumpy there.
Yeah, that could lead them to Pardon Eastern.
Yeah, as long as they're comfortable doing dark rooms, which I bet both of them are just totally fine with. That is two dungeons they can clear at this point.
It looks like Lyra starting at Sanctuary is going to enter the Dark World from the Seeptown portal and do Lowe's Village of Outcast and maybe Seeptown, that's a pendant, and go to the D games and Stumpy from there and find his bow.
Mm-hmm. Pendant Thieves Town is always a really hard dungeon to fully commit to. You might want to do front 4, but then if you don't get any of the items that are found there, then you kind of are tempted to dive in even deeper, and it is always a really tough call to make.
And Hugh, with that newfound bow in hand, is going to full clear Eastern. That's a crystal, and he can clear that. The sequence breaking a lamp. Who cares about that in Eastern? And we'll see.
Also going to give us our first look at Sahasrara's hut here as well. So I think that's our 4th bottle already. 20 minutes in, we've got them all. So that's interesting.
Yep.
Leyra's given us a look at the Skullwoods here. Good kind of early play when you're not sure where else you want to go. This is a couple of places you can check out fairly quickly early on in a run.
Yep. There's a saying that Skullwoods is just an extension of Dark Overworld, at least the front part.
Yeah, it really does seem like a couple of locations you just dip in real quick and take a look. And in there, Leyra finds the ice rod, probably not the rod he was looking for, hoping maybe for the fire rod to finish off this dungeon in one shot. But ice rod is going to be needed at some point in this run, so it's a good find.
Yep. We're not big key in Skullwoods, so we're back to the big chest.
Setting up for the bomb jump looks pretty good there.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Well, indeed.
So, Leyra has found the mirror. That's going to change how our 2 runners approach the rest of this run for the next little while.
Yep. Looks like he's going to press that advantage doing the graveyard ledge, and maybe after a bow he can go all the way to a right and take the Titansmith and do Pod and Eastern in one go.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, takes a death, unfortunately. But because we have collected so many bottles, one of those had a fairy in it, and Leyra has been brought back to life. So Hugh is navigating the dark rooms here in Eastern Palace with no problem. These are some of the easier dark rooms to get a handle on, so no surprises there that he was able to do that pretty easily.
The real hard Eastern Dark Room is after the big chest.
Yeah, that one's really it's deceptive. You think, oh, it's not too bad, but then there's a lot of moving parts in that room that can kind of throw you off. Yeah, see, as you were saying, Hugh's having a little bit of trouble placing that the Igor there. Finally gets him, but actually might have missed the shot there on him, so has to back out.
Marks a silver arrow on the Igor for the future arrows. Picks out the key, and he's through.
So, despite picking up that ultra sweet mirror, Leyra is not immediately running over to pick up those Titan's mitts. Is looking to check out some of Village of Outcasts here first.
Yeah, without a bow, the east side is not that appealing.
I suppose he knows where the Titan's mitts are, but he's got some things that he can clear out right now, so might as well take them on while he's in the area, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
So Hugh Bliss finishes up Eastern Palace there, gets a crystal there, 25 minutes in, and unfortunately didn't really find a whole heck of a lot. Did find the Fisher-Price shield, but that might be about it.
Yeah, just a shield, and it's not going to even be considered by the logic because they already have the King of Burna.
Ah, yeah, that's true. So now he's going to do the dip into pod, likely, we're seeing here. So Leyra, finding nothing exciting there in the first part of Thieves Town, is taken off. He's not going to go any further in the dungeon.
Yeah, I believe he's found at least 2 items, so leaving the other 2 off is risky but acceptable, I think. Gamble.
Yeah, I would agree. I think finding 2 items is generally good enough. When you've got other locations that you know you can start checking. So Leyra's going to be disappointed by just finding a piece of heart here in the digging game, but then will be rewarded for heading over to Stumpy and picking up the bow there. He'll likely then head over to Lake Hylia and pick up that Titan's Mitt.
Mm-hmm. So the divergence we're seeing here is Amhu going south route after the Hype Cave, finding the bow first and goes straight to Pod and Eastern, while Lyra goes to the north route to the Catfish, finding nothing, goes to the Skull Woods area, finding the mirror, leading to the current divergence.
Yeah, I like a seed that has a couple of different options for our runners to explore. Something that's really linear is interesting in that it becomes like an execution battle. But a run like this, you can kind of see what each runner is thinking once they find certain items, which way it kind of leads them, and we're seeing that divergence kind of playing out right now. So far, Hublis has found a couple of keys and the map for Palace of Darkness here. So as usual, most of the good stuff is hanging out further back in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. He's going to check the big key chest here.
So what is Leyra going to do with those Titans mitts? How is that going to change where he decides to go next?
Well, it looks like he's going to want a sequence break up the Death Mountain for what? At least 15 chests up there with the mitts.
Yeah, we're gonna have quite a lot up there, so it's a worthwhile sequence break to go for. I can see why he's thinking this might be the right way to go. Only thing that'll make this play a little bit spicier will be if he can find the hook shot somewhere up on Death Mountain. That'll give him access to every chest that's up here.
Yep. Right now, he does not have access to the hookshot cave chest.
Saves the old man and is rewarded with a bit of powder.
One of the better items in the game. He can use that to deal with the dead rocks here as well.
You know, that's something that we just don't see very much of, people using the powder on the dead rocks. Instead, we just get infuriated by them every single run.
Seeing yet another shield on the Spectral Rock Cave. Lyra is not getting that.
Nope. We got Hugh taking on the maze here in the dark. Let's see how he does.
Meanwhile, Lyra dips into Pendant Tower of Pera, find the big key, the first location. We'll see if he decides to continue on.
So he's just going right up. Now, it is the green pendant, so I guess he's also thinking he'll finish this off, possibly, and turn that pendant in when he decides to do his pod Eastern play.
Good point.
If he's trying to do this quickly, then I wonder if he might just pass on if there's an item in the Hera basement, if he just leaves it. Meanwhile, imhughbliss doing a nice job getting through that dark room, and then releases his fairy in the bottle to set up a death warp here. Oh, good point, chat. Yes, there is no fire source for Leyra right now, so if there's anything in the basement, he's definitely not going there. Yes, thanks for that.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And Moldorm wasted no time there, just immediately dumped him.
Yep. A warm welcome by the Mordor. So imhughbliss entering the dark room with full health is going to save the menu.
Alrighty, Leyra, here we go. Round 3. Get him this time. Meanwhile, imhughbliss taking on the dreaded Dark Turtle Room here. Swinging kind of blindly here, but is doing a pretty good job, not taking too much damage here, and is managing to get quite a few of the turtles down. Gonna have to be careful though.
Going to take a potion. I mean, does Ether and Quick work on those guys? Those.
Ooh, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, after you flip them,
Ooh, maybe.
while the door opens, it's fine.
Just a little bit further to go, and then he'll be out of the dark finally. Ooh, Leyra snagging the fire rod out of the spiral cave.
Which means there's a 2/3 chance that he can beat Turtle Rock right now.
Oh my. Wouldn't that be a play?
The play or the bait.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, and that opens our hair basement as well. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, imhughbliss with that silver arrow to the face, taking down Helmasaur King, is up to 2 crystals now. So now it looks like Hugh is probably going to head over to Village of Outcasts, maybe Skull Woods. If he does so, he will be rewarded with that mirror.
And Ice Rod.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, for him, this mountain does not make sense just yet because it does not have access outside in the Ultimate part.
Leyra with a nice bomb jump there to save a little bit of time.
Didn't he level the portal so he can do Super Bunny? Why is he bump jumping?
Yep, he just remembered that now. I thought he might have just been abandoning that idea and was going right up for the Turtle Rock portal right away.
You know, I'm not exactly sure which way is faster.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think I like the using the bottom portal and mirroring strategy. In this case, I like it.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with any dead rocks in this set strategy.
So it's the Ether Medallion to get into Turtle Rock, and Leyra is, at the very least, opening up this portal here.
I think very likely he'll go in there.
You've got everything that you need, yeah. I mean, why would you not? So I guess even though imhughbliss has the 2 crystal advantage right now. Given the way that the items have kind of played out, it's possible, although not entirely, 100%, that Leyra could go mode both Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness. There wasn't really anything of value in there, so if he leaves them till a little bit later, then he might be able to just dash through them real quick.
Well, on the other hand, Gomolos 2 dungeon does not make it significantly faster, but with the mirrors, when he actually goes there, he will have a faster pod for sure.
Definitely, yes. So Hubliss has got his mirror in hand here. Going to be heading over to Graveyard Ledge as well. Ooh, we find the lamp here in Turtle Rock.
Which means the flute is down there somewhere.
Yes. I mean, really, it looks like we're only looking for the hook shot and the flute, and then depending on what the medallion is for Misery Mire, hopefully it's either Ether or Quake. We're in pretty good shape at this point.
Yep. So, where do you think the flute will be?
I'm gonna say Swamp Palace. On the left side.
Yeah, sound about right.
Ooh. Leyra getting hit hard by one of those lasers there.
Just seeing the old man gave him some powder.
Yeah. Looks like Hugh thought about grabbing those 50 rupees and then backed away. That always seems like the instinct that you have as a runner is an item was dropped, I should grab it, and then you realize that's worthless, I don't need that.
Where do you think, he is going to pick up his Titan Smith now?
Yeah, I think so. Alrighty, so Leyra's showing us the Mimic Cave here. Just a big 20. So Hubliss here picking up the Titan's mitts. At first, I got kind of excited. I thought, oh, he'll go into Ice Palace, but he doesn't have the Fire Rod or Bombos medallion, I guess. So not going to be able to check that out yet. I am wondering about what might be in there. I'll have to see where Hugh decides to go next.
As far as we know, unless we find Bumble somewhere else, Fluke cannot be in Ice Pass because Fire Rod is on the Death Mountain.
Ah, yes. So Leyra is almost all the way through Turtle Rock here. Just gonna have the laser bridge left and then the Trinex fight.
After that, we likely see the Hera basement following to Spike Cave.
Mm. Leyra making sure not to get hip checked by that beetle there. That one always gets runners. Little ugh, and you fall right in there.
Doing the face tank version of laser skips. He has the safety door, so he'll be alright even if he take a death.
So Hugh looks like he is also interested in maybe checking out the first 4 of Thieves Town.
Well, Bumble's here, so Flutes really cannot be in Ice Palace now.
Yeah, we found all of the fire up here on Death Mountain.
Well, fitting, right? Death Mountain is a volcano.
Yeah. So Leyra is heading into a bit of a difficult Trinex fight here. Green Mail is never fun on Trinex. It's going to have to maybe use Hammer because these Master Sword slashes are not going to get it done.
Yeah, a good thing is I think still has his red and blue potions. So he will have access to those when he needs that.
Meanwhile, Hugh Bliss is actually going a little further into Thieves Town here. This could be a pretty big play. Leyra decided to nope out after the first 4, so having found 2 of the items, he thought he was pretty safe. If something, the flute could be hanging out back here.
Oh. Looks like Lera ran out of magic, so he decided to take a quick death and try again.
Yeah, I thought he had his blue goo still, but maybe he didn't pick up that item.
Where was that?
I know that Hugh Bliss picked it up, but I'm not quite sure where he did grab that. Was it in Eastern Palace or Pod, probably?
So on the other side, you just pick out the item that will mitigate this problem, the half magic on the top floor of Thieves Town.
And this Trinex fight is tough for Leyra here because you don't really want to back out at this point and come back and finish it off later. This is one that you want to get done now.
Good news, both heads are down.
Yeah, now that we're in this phase, it should be no problem. Meanwhile, imhughbliss is going to head all the way to the blind fight because blind is holding an item today. Alrighty, so 51 minutes in, Leyra picks up his first crystal. Even though he's got kind of a lot of pieces to get through this run, you got to be feeling like you might be a little bit behind. It's a pretty low crystal count to be so far into a run already.
Yep, but he know he can beat Paul Eastern since like 30 minutes, so he might not feel as behind as we think.
Ugh, so just 5 rupees there from blind. So while going in a little further, did get Hugh the half magic there, which is a nice pickup. That was the only thing that he found. Now this should be our first look at Blacksmith's Purple Chest and Hammer Pegs here from Hugh.
Yep, when Leyra was here, he does not have the Titans.
Alrighty, and Spike Cave had the Tempered Sword, so I don't think that Leyra is going to be in need of that 4th sword that we saw up on the library bookshelf.
Yeah, we're not going to need that anymore.
Alrighty, so nothing in the hammer pegs, but Hugh is going to be turning in the blacksmith here, see what we'll pick up here.
Meanwhile, Leyra is going for a Paul and Easter combo. He won't find anything here, but also need 2 crystals.
Yeah, he's definitely thinking that he can finish these dungeons off. He should probably take care of them now. Now, the one thing he will have in pocket is the green pendant, which he can turn into Sahasrara on his way over to Palace of Darkness here.
The thing is, the only big thing he can find here is hookshot, because flute, it cannot be the flute as Hera is on the Death Mountain.
Yes. So yeah, we could find the hook shot, but not the flute. Yes. Very good. Yeah, so it feels like I think Swamp might be one of the only places that the flute actually can be.
Did he not turn the pendant?
Or is it just really, really quick? Ooh. Oh, he did. He went back for it. Oh! But imhughbliss just found the hook shot, turning in Gary's lunchbox there.
So he's beeline right into Swamp Pass. How convenient.
Yeah.
So if we find flute here, he's likely going to my area first, and then go up to Death Mountain where he will achieve his goal mode likely.
Mm-hmm. Now that hook shot being where it is, it's gonna take a little while for Leyra to get back over there. Likely after this Eastern and pod play here, having not gonna be finding much of anything, he is probably gonna head over to Skullwoods because he can finish that dungeon off, and then he might get down to the blacksmiths at that point.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, but that doesn't waste any time because every dungeon he's visiting is a crystal.
Yeah, if he plays his cards right, then he might be able to go mode. We'll see how Swamp plays out here on Hugh's side, and then we'll know. But he might be able to go mode Ice Palace at the very least, so that'll save him a bit of time if he does everything the way we think he could do it.
I mean, if he finds flute on the first part or the second half of Swamp, he will not have to go to the left side. Meanwhile, Hughes likely will go to the left side because he's still missing a lot of items that we know are on Death Mountain.
Yeah, he wouldn't, having jumped into Swamp at this time, he's definitely not going to bail out on any item locations at this point. Swamp Palace always feels like a really slow dungeon when you don't have the boots. Just trudging through this the water here, it feels like it just takes forever.
I mean, even with a boot, some runner will argue it also takes forever.
Yeah. So Hugh is showing us left side first here. As you said, he's got so many items still on the table that he's definitely full clearing this dungeon. And if you do intend to full clear the dungeon, doing the left side first, I think, is quicker. Unless, yeah, it is. It is. Unless you do the back part and you realize that compass and map are both on the left side and you can skip left side just by process of elimination. But we've already come across the compass so far, so there's at least one item over here.
Yep. Well, it can also be slower if the Arcus has a big key and big chest has an item, meaning you have to double it regardless.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we get the Sank Heart there.
A big key in its vanilla location.
So Leyra is also saving just a little bit of time here in pod. Having the lamp in hand, doesn't have to try and navigate these rooms in the dark.
And with mirror in hand, he does not need to set up a death swap after this.
Unfortunately, Hugh just finding 10 arrows in the big chest there in Swamp Palace. So that left side play, not really holding anything of value. The heart container is always a nice pickup, but it's not one that you're going to see as essential to your run.
I mean, in Green Mail, every heart counts.
That is true.
Also, another point of interest regarding the routing is Leyra is likely achieving gold mode relatively soon, maybe. He means he will miss unless loot, meaning he will miss out on the silver arrows in Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, because he'd be looking for the aha, there's the flute hanging out in the waterfall chest here in Swamp Palace.
Although, on the other hand, Hugh is going to achieve gold mode unless Fire Rod in Spiral Cave, means he's going to miss out on Temper Sword in Spike Cave.
Hmm. Yeah, so both of our runners will be missing out on a key piece of equipment for their final part of their run. Unfortunately, with the Master Sword, these little puffs that are guarding Argus here take 2 hits, unless you're doing spin strats, but Hugh is just going for slashes here. Alrighty, so Hugbliss finishes off Argus, no problem there, and picks up another crystal for his trouble. So he's immediately going to go activate that flute. Is going to probably head up to Death Mountain right after that. Actually, I think you were thinking he might go Misery Mire first, and I think if he does that, then that's a better play, just to check that medallion.
Mm-hmm. And while we're very close to gold mode, there's about 6% chance that we aren't, and we won't know after we got all 7 crystals, so I don't think runners would worry about that, because it's unlikely.
It is a low percent chance, but yeah, something to think about. And that was the Hylian National Anthem. Hugbliss is looking for potions.
Yeah. I mean, having 4 bottles, the game is basically telling you to get those potions and finding the blue mail on the desert ledge.
Yep. And it's Quake to get into Misery Mire, so medallion-wise, we are set.
Yep. Although the question is, will he go in now or will he go in later?
Ooh, yeah. I wonder, those Misery Mire Dark Rooms are really tricky. If he goes for him, that's great. I mean, you're already here. You might as well give it a go. And it looks like he might be doing that, unless he's doing checkerboard.
Looks like he's doing checkboard into Agina. We've never done Agina, right?
That's true. We haven't seen Agina yet.
Anything chat, where is Lem? Lem is the turtle rock.
Yeah, all the fire is up on Death Mountain, as we were saying earlier, which, as they're also bringing up, is a good point. Why, if Hugh decides to go into Misery Mire, he could get locked out if the big key is on that left side. Leyra with a really nice quick kill there on the Armos Knights, picks up his next crystal. That gives him 3 total here.
Yeah, we're on too large of divergence to know who is in lead right now, so we'll see later.
Yeah, you know, I got this feeling that they're just gonna like run into each other at Ganon's tower right at the very end. So Hublis is making the play up to Death Mountain here because he really doesn't have too much else that he can check.
Meanwhile, LeyraGG is going straight to Ice Palace. We know he will not find a flute here. He might hope to find a hookshot here.
Yeah, we know this is kind of an unfortunate play because we know he can go mode this dungeon if he were to go grab that hook shot from Purple Chest instead. But we'll see what he decides to do with this dungeon. If he's thinking, then he might not waste too much time in here. So yeah, with the hook shot in hand, Hublis is able to get over to East Death Mountain a little quicker than Leyra did. And I mean, like, once he picks up his fire rod in the spiral cave, which might be one of the last checks that he does here, he'll then be in go mode. So he'll have Skullwoods, Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock to take care of. So still, you know, a fair chunk of the race to go here, but being in go mode will be a nice treat for him there.
We'll see when he will try to go Spiral Cave after these 5 chests. If he does the bump jump, he will jump down to Spiral Cave for the portal. If he doesn't, he will do the Silverbund Cave first.
Looks like we're going to get Super Bunny and maybe even a bit of Hookshot Cave as well before we see Spiral Cave.
And that would put likely Turtle Rock his 7th crystal because he will likely just save and quit out of Spiral Cave on go mode.
Ooh, unfortunately, pushing both of those blocks there, locking himself out of that, doing a little skip there. Gonna have to go the long way around. Meanwhile, the keys are working out at least fairly well here in Ice Palace. Managed to snag one so he can do this right side now, as opposed to having to kind of bomb jump his way around the dungeon here.
Yep.
So Hubliss just mirroring here to see what's on the island here. Just a piece of heart. Ooh. Book of Medora. Hanging out in Hookshot Cave.
Going to check out the rock medallion first before thinking what he checks next. Hera or Spiral?
Alrighty, nice. He is checking Spiral Cave first here. I was a little bit worried that finding that book might push him over to Ether Tablet and then maybe even a dip into Hera first, but he's choosing to finish off Spiral Cave here, which is the right call.
If he doesn't find the fire rock here, it's likely a saving quit back to the mountain cave to go to Hera from there. I think it's a little faster.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so at 1 hour 11 minutes, Hubliss is in go mode.
Yep. Well, at this 7 crystal mode, and I hope to God against our big T is not on the torch go mode.
That is one of the worst feelings in any rando run, for sure. When you don't have boots and it's on that torch. Alrighty, so Hubliss's first thought is to finish off Skull Woods here. We've already found both items in the dungeon, so there's no need to look around for anything else here. Just going right from off.
Yep. And it's unlikely he'll mirror for a pedestal check. He will just mirror and float away.
Yeah, Ped is going to remain a mystery until the credits roll, unfortunately, for chat here. But it's not going to be holding anything of value, so nothing was lost.
Also, I forgot the point for Hughes. He's in dark go mode because Lamb is in Pearl Rock of all places, so he's going to deal with Mire Dark Room regardless.
Ooh, so that could slow him down a little bit. If you know what you're doing, then you can still get through those rooms pretty quickly, but they can kind of be a little bit challenging, so we'll have to see how he plays that. So Labor just missing the timing a little bit on the Cold Stead there, but with the Fire Rod in hand is able to take care of the boss, no problem there. Alrighty, so Hubliss takes Mothula down there.
There are a finish ice pass going to another cave with an ice in it and going to claim the silver arrows.
Yeah, this is as close as you're going to get to this check here, so I can see why he's choosing to do it now. Nice pickup at this point of the run. But he's really going to have to, he's got to hustle to get over to Purple Chest to kind of finish off the run for him. Alrighty, so look, we got Leyra heading over to likely finish off Skull Woods, and that will probably lead into Blacksmith, Purple Chest, and Hammer Pegs. So we'll pick up the hook shot, and you know, that'll lead him right into the swamp play, which is where the flute is hanging out.
So overall, she was going to can go more dungeons, but Lyra is going to have an easier time doing those dungeons because the tempered and lamp is what we are looking at here.
Yep. I mean, Hugh has got the half magic that Lyra is definitely not going to find because that was in Thieves Town. So not the Godmire here today, unfortunately. We'll see if it's in this chest, which is also not a bad spot for the big key to be hanging out. Nope, gonna have to go a little further in. I'm gonna be really excited to see like who's actually going to be ahead after all of this, because it does seem like it's pretty close at this point. If Leyra does in fact take care of Blacksmiths and Purple Chest right after this, which seems likely, I'm excited to see how this finishes.
Yep.
Still no luck with the big key yet for Hugh Bliss.
Lyra is going to save time in Swamp because the tough boss. Oh, boots!
Nice.
Well, that's 100% go mode at least.
Yep. Ugh. So, unfortunately, both of our runners are going to have to endure what feels like the longest cutscene in the game, lighting the 4 torches to move that one wall. So Leyra mirrors into the light world, probably fooling some of you in chat, thinking he might actually check the pedestal. He doesn't have the book, so he can't do it. He's just running back to the portal this way. It feels like it's a little bit faster than having to backtrack through all of Skull Woods.
Yep. And looks like it's going south.
Yeah, this is the play that he has to make. He doesn't really have anywhere else to go, so... Yep, he's going to be on his way towards go mode. One step closer, at least, with that hook shot.
Also, interesting point bring out by chat. We might pick up like Temper Sword in library now that he finds a boot conveniently here in Mire.
It would be a pretty quick dash down from flute. If you flute to Kakariko, then just quickly whip down there. You know, why not? You know it's sitting there.
First try Maya Dark Room, nice.
There we go. So he's just got one more dark room to navigate. This one's really not too bad. Oh, Leyra's got that powder, so he's going to work in the magic bat here. Alrighty, imhughbliss is heading into the vitreous fight here with the silver arrows in hand. Should make quick work of this boss.
And he sure did. Meanwhile, Leyra is going to pick out a purple chest, which will lead him to swap after this.
Now, one place where he will save time is he's likely not going to do left side first. He's only got one item for go mode. So he'll probably head right towards the back, and we'll find the flute back there.
Looks like who is going to claim that tempered?
So this will bring our runners to even on weapon count, I guess. Swords and silver arrows both, so that's nice.
Yep. So the only difference will be the half magic on his side, which doesn't really matter on Tempest or Silvers.
Yeah. So Hugh's going to save a bit of time here by being able to go mode Ice Palace, which is nice. Leyra did full clear it looking for more go mode items. And I feel like finding these boots just a little bit before Leyra is helping Hugh out just a little bit to kind of make his way through these dungeons a little bit quicker.
He's going to have boots for Ice and Turtle Rock, while Leyra didn't.
Yeah, and seeing as Leyra is leaving Misery Mire to the end here, yeah, he's definitely not going to see as much of an advantage from having the boots. Depending on how he routes his way through Misery Mire, he could even miss the boots, which would be unfortunate.
So we're seeing both strong doing things we have seen each other do. It's a good time to say if you like the race you're seeing, don't forget to follow runners. Rick has kindly entered the comment for us. You can follow the channel from there. And if you like more tournaments in general, there's the Speed Gaming Network. We are here on Speed Gaming 3. There's Speed Gaming to Speed Gaming 6. And if you like more ALTTP Randomizer, there's also ALTTP Randomizer Network. That's from ALTTP Randomizer to ALTTP Randomizer 5. And one last shout out to our checker, Merc C here, doing a pretty good job getting us the item knowledge, what they have or not.
Most definitely, yeah. And also of note, this is the first of a double header here. So pretty much right after this one wraps up, they're going to be setting up for the second race. So definitely stay tuned for that. So Leyra is skipping out on left side, so this is good. This is going to help him save a little bit of time here. imhughbliss did do left side, so that wasted him a little bit. It's still really close. we're gonna have both our runners looking at one dungeon left to do. Do you want to be doing Misery Mire? Or do you want to be doing Turtle Rock? Turtle Rock's gonna put you in a better spot when you're leaving the dungeon, but man, it's gonna be close to the finish here.
I think he is going to have a little lead entering Gen's tower, but nothing unsurmountable.
Yeah, left side, right side gambles. Little bits of execution here and there could make the difference. Alrighty, so at 125, Leyra picks up the flute, and as soon as he activates that, he'll be in go mode, ready to roll. So Leyra's going to be able to get through this Argus fight just a little bit quicker because he's got Tempered Sword. Hugh went into the fight with just the Master Sword. Small, amount of time saving here, but every little bit's going to count at the end here. Leyra not quite as clean as he'd want to be on that Argus fight, but still not too bad. Takes him down. I'm watching the wonderful Cactar sprite here on Leyra's side, and his frantic motions here as he's dashing towards Kakariko, I always get a kick out of them. He looks like he's in such a hurry to try and get where he's going here. So I feel like the big key here in Turtle Rock doesn't show up at the at its vanilla location, so that will save Hugh a little bit of time. I think it's in the Chain Chomp room here, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
Ooh, one thing I'm thinking about here, Leyra is going to miss out on the blue mail. He didn't check the desert ledge here, and he's not going to.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't think he's restocked on any goo at all at the potion shop. So he's going to have to be really clean through Ganon's tower, whereas Hugh's going to have a little bit of room for error. If he needs to use a potion, he'll be able to.
I remember there's a small key in the big chest, so that means Hugh is likely being able to skip the laser bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, and he won't go into the Mimic Cave either, which only had a big 20. We saw Leyra check that earlier. So at this point, it looks like Ganon's Tower routing is going to be very important in this run here. Hugh is going to be entering Ganon's Tower with a bit of an edge, it looks like, at this point.
Yep. And looks like Lyra is going to miss out on a boots. He's going straight to the cutscene.
Aye. So it might save him a little bit of time because he's not checking as many chests in the dungeon, but those boots, even just getting up to Ganon's Tower from where he is, the boots are going to save him time. So it's unfortunate he's going to miss out on those.
So I remember a little trivia I learned from other runners when I commentate. If the pack chest on the left side, you light a torch a small key, the big key is guaranteed to be vanilla. So I guess that's why he just goes straight there.
Ah, interesting. Really nice Trinex fight there from Hugh.
And that's our 7th crystal, which means we're going to start our guessing game. Would you mind introduce that while I start the bot?
Yeah, sounds good. So there are 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's Tower, one of which is going to contain the big key. So put your guesses in the chat, 1 through 22. Which chest do you think the Ganon's Tower big key is going to be? And if you subscribe to one of the speed gaming channels, or if you donated 250 bits across the channels, you will be entered to be on our leaderboard if you do in fact guess correctly. So hurry and get those guesses in. We're going to have to stop the bot as soon as Hugh enters Ganon's Tower here.
So for Lyra's sake, I hope it's not on a torch.
Yeah. Alrighty, so 2 items in the first 2 chests on the right side. It's going to force our runners to go left, at least to start. And most likely, you'll go full left at this point.
I don't know. I think I would get that shield because there's a fireballs in the Lemos too and in gauntlets that I would like it to block.
You know, it's a bonk that takes what, 2 or 3 seconds maybe. So, you know, not a bad pickup, I guess. But when you're, I guess, when you're in go mode and you're thinking that your opponent's probably, you know, either right on your tail or maybe ahead of you, every second matters. So even picking up a shield like that is not crossing a runner's mind. So firebar room, that is chest number 8. We still have not found our big key yet. Chest number 9 has 300 rupees in it there. Alrighty, let's see what's in the rando room here.
If it's not, if Lyra do Dark Magician, he will have a faster time.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. Alrighty, so coming up next is Bob's chest.
Chest number 14.
Nope, just a big 20. Really nice ice armos here from Hugh.
And looks like Lyra is going for the same route here.
Oh, it's on the right side. So I think Lyra's gonna have to Dark Magician this to have a chance.
Well, there's currently 1 in 5 that we're seeing a tower room. The whatever strategy you use is going to be 22. $20 is tower room. Number 22.
Wow. And this has got to feel like an eternity. At this point in the race, you're, an hour 40, and that, your opponent could be finishing at any second, and here you are waiting out tiles for 45 seconds.
I mean, on the other hand, most likely your opponent is doing this last as well. So
That is true.
There's comfort in that front at least.
Alrighty, and there it is. There's our big key. And it looks like the closest guess that we got on that one was 20 from DP Heffernan. Congratulations. You were the closest.
Also, chat bring us the strat you use in the tower room. If you hold the wall with the cap active, it does not use any magic.
Yeah, that's a pretty nifty little trick that I've seen. Quite a few runners have adopted that now if they are taking on the tile room there. So Leyra also feeling that same disappointment. Meanwhile, imhughbliss is taking on the first few rooms of the gauntlet here, looking pretty clean so far.
And the Thieves is not getting him the wrong round here.
Yeah, that's always a plus when they also kind of cooperate with you.
Yep, that's a very clean gauntlet. We're off to Lemos too.
imhughbliss going through the Wizrobe rooms here. Ooh, misses one, unfortunately. There we go.
Meanwhile, Lara getting the bad news is going to weigh the tiles as well.
Ooh, Hugh unfortunately falling here in the torch room. Little bit of the nerves maybe creeping in. That happens. Gets the key from one of the mini Helmosaurs there. Alrighty, Leyra picks up his big key, so he's on his way up the tower.
Well, he is on to Modern 2.
Feeling the same pain that Leyra did against Moldorm earlier in the run. Alright, just a map hanging out in the last chest there.
I feel I see map there all the time for some reason. Maybe just
Yeah.
just confirmation bias.
Not a great first pattern there, so only getting the one hit. And then
And getting blue balled.
ugh, nothing on that one, unfortunately. This one looks like a bit of a better one. Gets a double.
And another nice double to finish up.
Alrighty, all that's left is to take down the pig here. So with Tempered Sword and Silver Arrows, this shouldn't be too tough a fight. Hugh also has the benefit of the blue mail, which Leyra didn't pick up. It was on the desert ledge there. And he's got a whole slew of blue goo, so he should be in pretty good shape to finish this fight off no problem.
And he got the God corner as well.
Already into phase 3 here. And on to phase 4 here.
Not going to do a Tortrix, he does not need it.
Alrighty, and just like that, Hugh Bliss takes down the pig and wins, as long as he doesn't fall off the edge here, will win game 1.
And since this is a back-to-back, we will not bring him in for an interview. Give him time to rest up and get ready for their game 2.
Put your GGs in the chat for Hugh Bliss.
With an official SRT time of 1 hour 46 minutes and 47 seconds.
Alrighty, Leyra's not too far behind here. Picks up his very valuable Ganon's Tower map. This is where those boots would have come in handy. This is a terrible room to have to negotiate when you don't have the boots. Ooh, pretty good Aga 2 there.
Yeah, that's a triple double on 2 blue balls, right?
Yeah. Alrighty, Leyra also gets into that nice corner position there to get the most out of the spins there. Here we are already into phase 3.
Chad brings up in Hugh's Aga fight, he deflected blue ball. I'm not sure how that happens. Do you know?
You can like deflect the blue balls if you have the mirror shields, so I don't think that it maybe just looked like it, but I don't think that could have happened. Ooh, they were getting real close there. And And there is the final arrow. So Leyra finishes up the first match here of the doubleheader. Put your GGs in the chat for him here. Coming in with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 27 seconds. So I think what is going to be happening here is our runners are going to take just a little bit of a break, and then they're going to start up again here. So before we pass up, let's kind of, I don't know, what do we think about this first race that we saw, Blasting?
It's pretty wild. A little divergence from Hype Cape turned into a whole world difference. Their crystal order is completely different from each other. It's a thrilling race to watch.
It really was, because like even though we see the result here with Leyra falling behind by about 3.5 minutes, the entire way through we had really no idea who was going to come out on top on this one. It kind of depended on how they decided to play their respective dungeons, and yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty even execution match, I would say. So I think that they're a pretty good pair in this part of the bracket.
And maybe we should wrap things up here.
Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to be done. I think that Wolflink is going to be stepping in here to do some commentary, and our wonderful tracker Merc249 is going to be sticking around and tracking the next match. I don't know. Any final thoughts there, Blastig?
Well, it's been a very interesting race. Nice commentary with you, September.
Yeah, it was a blast, man. I had a good time chatting with you here. And yeah, please, everyone here, stick around and watch Game 2. It'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Leyra is going to be fighting for his tournament life, so should be one to definitely check out. And I guess with that, we're going to wrap it up here. So thanks for watching, and stick around for Game 2. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks for watching.